Anyways, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It may have been more of Coach Creed coming in. Creed has been doing wonders here and there, and coaching is a very, very strong part of the upcoming Brawlhalla scene, I feel like now, especially with me having a coach, who's Effie, Boomy having his own coach, Wrench, I've heard that he gets messages here and there from people of higher importance in how they teach their players, and we see more elevated Brawlhalla gameplay recently. So that excites me. With that said, we are in the set instantly. Wrench versus Phazon. Now, you were talking about Wrench versus Phazon earlier. I want you to just reiterate that real quick.
I don't
my bad. Okay.
I don't remember what I said.
It was a thing about how Phazon has a higher wall to climb, and because
absolutely. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with what he did against Kui. Of course, no disrespect to Kui, made it top 8 in this tournament. Outstanding placement from him today so far. But I don't think, or I initially didn't think, that Phazon was going to be able to get away with quite the same things against Wrench. I think Wrench's Katars are definitely in a higher class. In a league of its own compared to Kui's. Of course, Wrench, one of the best guitar players in the entire world at this point, and his Asuri is amazing. We've seen consistent top 3 placements on land from Wrench. Not a lot of other players can say that they've done that.
Yep, that's true. But the thing about Phazon, and we see it in this first, he already took the first stock. We see it in him, and it's that he did play against Kui with the guitars, and he beat him. He played against Noel with the guitars, and he beat them.
That's true.
He's warmed up. He's genuinely warmed up against this matchup. This is probably the most optimal scenario for Phazon to face Wrench. The fact that he had 2 warm-up matches. Obviously, they're different guitar players, and it's different things, but it's still the same hitboxes, it's still the same recovery frames, and everything else is similar besides playstyle. So Phazon seems to be a bit more ready, and we already see it in this game.
Definitely fortunate in the lineup that he had in his bracket today in top 8 for sure. Tries to go for the neutral signature again. There's the side signature. Now, Wrench does like to force offstage situations. That's what the old Wrench stands for, is respect Wrenched definitely off stage. And if Phazon takes Wrenched off stage, Gauntlets versus Katars off stage, you already said it. That goes heavily in Gauntlet's favor.
Phazon has been so clean today, man. Getting these hits after hits, not pushing too far, always just going for the lead. Oh, that neutral sig. I love using a neutral sig after hitting it down there. Oh, wow. Let's say that. Wrench with the clapback, getting an extremely early kill at orange as Phazon barely misses. He even turned that. That was honestly so wild. Okay. Oh, was that a bait? Phazon finding these options. Wrench, however, hitting back with that slight string. Phazon trying to hit him back. Wrench edgeguard. Okay, Phazon just goes to the other side. Knows that Wrench is one of the scariest players to play against offstage, and he has that sword in his hand against the Katars. It is a bit harder when he's right above him. Decides to go to the other side. Phazon, once again, tries to get that kill. Doesn't. Wrench kills himself. Oh, no.
Wrenched is still going for a lot of ground pounds. And I'm a little bit at a loss for why he's still going for that. It's really not that strong of a move that you can use all the time. Like, it's definitely more situational than virtually any other offstage move that Katars have. Why isn't he just edgeguarding more with nairs? Because he's committing so much. Like, you obviously you're going straight down and you're moving more quickly than if you're just doing a falling nair.
Yeah. So
he was too low to recovery, and Phazon didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit hard, man. You'd be surprised how hard it is to just straight up nair. I know it sounds silly. The weapon, the nair, has like been one of the easiest things for Katars to hit for centuries. But against better players, you can't just fall down and nair them. Because there are a lot of cases where they can actually end up above you if they jump just as you do it, and now you're actually in a reverse scenario. That's happened to me multiple times when I play Katars. However, I do agree there is something that's weird about Wrench's edge guarding today. It's not as strong as we usually see it. He's dropping a lot of things like that.
And there you go.
That's a good scenario. I actually agree with you. That was a good scenario. Why did he choose that hard option to go for a second ground pound? He got the
first one was great.
Yep.
The first one hit, and it was fantastic. And he's done a lot of those point-blank ground pounds that have hit very well. But then he continues to press that situation and go basically vertically on top of Phazon. Phazon can not only dodge through the ground pound because it is one of the slower moving ground pounds in the entire game, but if he times a nair correctly, he can contest it, and then it's a 180-degree situation. He's doing too many ground pounds. I'm not saying never do it. Oh my god!
So clean. So he sayers just as Wrench uses his recovery, and the moment he does that, he actually reads Wrench's dodge, straight up ground pounds him. His ground pound started before he dodged. Nair? Oh no. Oh no.
Nair! Off stage. You don't do it. You're done. That's a 3-stock, dude.
1 minute, 40 seconds. Actually, correction. 1 minute, 38 seconds. What is going on?
That's a 3-stock in top 4. By the way, Phazon did 302 damage. That is about 100 damage on average per stock. Wrench only put out 169 damage. All of that going into Phazon's first stock. All of that. Every single bit. Don't go off stage against Phazon. Don't do it. Sandstorm said it in his interview. He's the only person that Sandstorm can't gimp. Don't do it.
He didn't gimp me at the final round, by the way, in 2v2s. But
okay,
anyways,
whatever.
But you are completely right. Phazon seriously showing incredible potential on these edge guards. Wrench actually isn't even like getting any edge guards at all. There was a moment where Phazon had used all of his options, and Wrench, all he had to do was either ground pound or down air him with sword. Wrench didn't even go for it. When do you see Wrench not go for a quote-unquote free kill?
When he's scared of Phazon, man.
Yes. May not be a doctor, but he's still a surgeon, man.
Yeah, he lost his medical license, but he's still, oh boy. He can still stitch up wounds. The wounds that he makes when you attempt an edge guard against Phazon.
He's running the underground now, man. Size 6?
Straight up, dude. Yeah, he's that back alley doctor.
Oh, the ground pound Wrench in the reverse scenario. Downlight recovery. Phazon's so solid. Up 2 games in this set.
Now, Wrench does have a bit of a lead here. You see him just go off stage for just a moment, but then he goes back onto the stage. Seems like Wrench is really recognizing that he doesn't need to go off stage against Phazon because he's winning the neutral so far.
Down air. Wait, you see that? Just slight weight. Dashes. Stops it instantly. He keeps trying to go for damage. Phazon isn't rushing anything. The way Phazon plays neutral reminds me a lot of Adamestic with a slight of his own flair. Because Adamestic does the same things. The only difference between Adamestic and Phazon is that Adamestic goes for more straight hits that misses, and then he punishes the opponent's attempt at punishing them. That's not something we see with Phazon. Phazon is more, I hate to say it, but more of a surgeon with these attacks.
Wrench picking up the weapon, even though he has the weapon advantage, not going off stage.
Precisely putting that neutral sig there. Man.
When players are able to dash in unarmed neutral heavy, that requires so much control over your spacing, where you expect the opponent to be, and just raw timing. Players who are able to do that, man, that's something special.
So far, 2-2 equaled it up, looking better than what the last game happened,
way better.
And honestly, the first
Way
game even. Wrench is the player to adapt to a lot of sets. We have seen it so many times. If you look at Wrench's brackets, they're almost always 3-2s. Wrench, close to almost always tries to take it into the game 5. At least on LAN, that's what we see. And what we have seen from Wrench today online has been that. The dominance that he has on LAN and how he mental games himself through. That's what we see today from Wrench, and I love that. Side sig went for the Noel read, ground pound, misses that as well. Phazon, man.
Phazon's going to be able to get back to the other side, showing a lot of respect to Wrench there, not trying to stress the offstage, not trying to attempt the recovery back to the left side. He just wants to dip out of the situation because he didn't have gauntlets in his hand. That might have been the reason why, is he didn't have gauntlets where he has that huge advantage over Wrench on the edge.
I think in general, whenever Wrench, whenever Phazon is in a scenario where the percentages are working against him, he always opts to not fight against it, and I love that. And I think that contributes to one of the reasons why he's so ungimpable, is that when he truly sees that he shouldn't be doing something, wow, Wrench with that incredible place ground pound. Anyways, whenever Phazon sees that he shouldn't be going for something, he just opts out of it. And it's so well done because it's close to perfect every time. Wrench getting these strings after strings. The
double
throws.
weapon toss. He goes for a third one as well.
Oh, that down like delayed recovery. Side air.
There's the side air coming
That
from
might be
Phazon.
it,
Now is
yeah.
when wrenched. He's not going to be able to get back, but if he was, don't go for the edge guard situation. And I don't think he would. The only time he's going for the edge guard situation is when Phazon has sword and when Phazon is unarmed. He saw what Phazon did to him time after time in the previous game when he had
down there.
gauntlets on the edge. There's the ground pound. He only goes for one.
Yep.
He doesn't go for a second one, throwing the weapons to himself, picking up those guitars. And again, he's going off stage against Phazon because Phazon has sword.
So weird. When Wrench hit that ground pound, I actually thought he was going to just chase dodge down there or down there. I've seen it happen a lot of times, especially because Phazon had no dodge. That's side sig. Again.
Wrench doesn't have hardly any damage on him right now. He does have to be careful.
He touches, ground pound again.
Just riding the wall. He was able to touch.
Pound, misses.
He got his jumps back.
This is so important for Wrench. He has to take this game.
Yeah. Oh,
Barely
so
tips
close.
him.
That Val defense. Keeping Phazon in this. Almost picks up the delay. Happens to do it the wrong direction. Expected Phazon to land to his left.
There.
Phazon has gauntlets, though. We've seen what he does with these. Almost picks up the side air. Does get the recovery. Wrench not in kill percent yet, but if he's off stage, any damage is kill percent for Phazon's
Got
gauntlets.
to be nerve-wracking. It's so intense.
Wrench has to be so careful how he dodges against Phazon's gauntlets.
Oh boy, that's here. Weapon throw, and that's gonna be it.
That's it. Phazon's going to take it 3-0 against Wrenched. And you talked about how many bracket sets that Wrenched has 3-2. It's not going to be the